Dead Voices, Diary of a Confused Skeleton, Adventure Stories for Kids. Written by Jeff Child, narrated by John H. Feskins. Introduction. Skeletor the Skeleton has a hard time with himself. He hears voices and isn't sure how to distinguish reality from his imagination. But no matter how much he wants to do bad things, and no matter how many wrong deeds he has committed, he is still determined to fight for those who need him the most. Listen about the psychological, controversial story of Skeletor, a skeleton who uses his disabilities to his advantage and rests in peace after a brutal battle. Chapter 1. Undead. My name is Skeletor. I am, well, that's just it. I don't think I have an age anymore. I am dead. I died. I think it was an accident at work. I was working in construction, and I know the men warned me, but for some reason I ignored their voices of caution and kept doing what I did. I was in my own world. I have always been a little odd. Someone in town had diagnosed me earlier with a disability called I forgot the word. But either way, the doctor told me I had to be careful whom to listen to. A lot of wrong messages were in my head that didn't coincide with reality. And so it happened that I wasn't paying attention. A huge steel bar was coming my way, and my coworkers were shouting that I should duck to avoid it. I didn't. Bam! The metal bar hit me in the head, exactly at a spot where it caused my instant death. I didn't feel anything after that. I was gone. But I had always learned that my spirit or soul would go to the afterlife. I don't know why it didn't. It was as if I was stuck or something. Maybe I had some unfinished business. Maybe I still had a goal, a mission to accomplish before I would move on. I had lived a hard life. My parents had split up, my brain wouldn't leave me alone with all the conflicting ideas that entered into it, and I had been a social outcast for years. I was just feeling fortunate enough to have a job in construction. In my free time, I would go hunting, not just to have some extra food on the table, but also because I loved bows and arrows. I had been hunting for years. My precision knew no boundaries. Whenever I would see something to shoot at, I would simply aim, let go of the bow, and watch the arrow hit the exact location I was pointing at, down to the inches. It was a rare talent I had come to cherish over the years, although to this day I still don't know if there was some higher purpose to it. Perhaps that is another reason why I wouldn't move on. I didn't know what to do with my archery skills. I had never felt the fulfillment I was looking for. Sure, I had won tournaments and added hunting trophies to the walls in my home, but it still didn't feel like it was enough. When I died on that construction site, I felt as if I was still there. It was weird. And when they carried my body to my grave, I still felt like I was in it, even though I couldn't really do anything. It took another month before I arose from the grave, kind of like having slept for a whole month. When I stood up, I looked at myself. The flesh on my bones had decayed. It had rotted away for the most part. All that was left of me was a mere skeleton. It was interesting and new. I decided there and then that I would find my purpose, that I would take my bow and arrows and seek out some kind of sense to my undead life, if you know what I mean. So there you have it. I am dead, but not really. I am undead. I am a skeleton, looking for purpose and ready to move on to the next stage of death, but only if I find what I am looking for first. Chapter 2. The Voices. The voices are frustrating. I have had them since I was a teenager. They were always there since then. They are voices that tell me I am worth nothing, that I should harm myself, sometimes even that I should kill myself. Because it's so hard to tell the difference between a real voice and the voices in my head, I often end up doing things I regret later. I don't know where they come from. Maybe it's just how I am wired. But then, if they are all related to the brain, are they still there? I don't have a brain anymore. I am a skeleton. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I have to live with them nonetheless. The biggest challenge is to differentiate between the real and the fake ones. I am not always good at it. One time I heard a voice that I swear was my dad's voice, but when it told me to just kill a coworker, I knew it was just something that was in my head. At those moments, I realized that I do have some control over them, and that I do recognize the insanity of it all when I am confronted with something that is made up in my mind. Another time, I will tell you a funny childhood story. I accidentally did something bad because one of the voices told me to do it. It was a teacher. His name was Mr. Boring. Go figure. Was that his real name? Yes, it was. I still don't know why you would make education your profession with a name like that, but he did, and man, was he boring. He would talk our ears off with his miscellaneous stream of facts, the random uninteresting stuff that came out of his mouth, the words that went into one ear and out another. It wasn't a delight to listen to him, especially with that tone of voice, and that's a big understatement. But that day was different than the other days. He had become so boring that he fell asleep during his own class. Maybe he hadn't had enough sleep that night. He had big bags under his eyes, so he was probably exhausted to begin with. If you ask me, he should have just called in sick. But he didn't. He was determined to finish the lesson. Poor teacher. He didn't deserve what I tried to do to him. There he was, having his head on his arms behind his desk. His lecture was halfway over, and most of the kids either stopped taking notes or simply started talking about after-school stuff. Then came the voice in my head. "Get your lunchbox," it said. "Okay," I said, not knowing what to do with it. "Now open it up," the voice said. I opened it up. "Now take the slices of cucumber and place them on Mr. Boring's eyes. It will be hilarious when he wakes up." I didn't question the voice, nor the source of the voice. I blindly obeyed, thinking that this was what had to be done. I took the pieces of cucumber and walked towards the teacher's desk. I was quiet, but the other kids in class were very noisy. When I leaned over and tried to put the cucumber on his eyes, he woke up before I could. "What are you doing?" the teacher asked. "Go back to your seat immediately." I ran back and dropped the cucumber slices on the floor by accident. One of the girls, who had just come back from sharpening her pencil, stepped on it and slipped. Thud! She landed on the floor. "Wah!" she cried. I don't know if I should expand on this story, but let me just keep it at the bottom line. I had to stay for a long time after school. Detention had become more frequent anyway, but this time I had to explain myself to the teacher, write 100 words on the blackboard, and do 200 math problems. He didn't believe me when I told him about the voices. It took hours for me to finish what he made me do. I hate the voices. They're not my friends. They tell me to do evil things and reach into the bottom of my soul to find corruption and wickedness, but I can't get rid of them. Hatred, frustration, and doubt are the consequences of these voices, so hopefully I will live on without those. Chapter 3. Stolen. One of the first things I did as a skeleton, now that I got my body of bones, is leaving the graveyard and walking to town. But then I hear the voices again. One of them is stronger and louder than all the other ones. It pierces through the marrow in my bones. I can't ignore it. It's like a loud trumpet that blasts through my thick skull. "Get money," the voice says. "You need money, lots of it." It makes sense. I mean, how else am I going to eat? I have no money because I just came from the grave. So I give in. I listen to the evil voice inside of me. "Where do I find money?" I ask. "At the mayor's house," the voice claims. "He is loaded. He doesn't care if he misses a few bucks." "That's right," I say. "He probably earns the most in the whole village. I will go there and steal some of his money. Then I can eat." With that being said, I sneak through town, in the dark, and head towards the mayor's house. There is a back door, and I break it open, just like that. I think it's better that the villagers don't see me. I think a skeleton would scare them off no matter what I do. I sneak into the back room and come across a little vault. "Try the different combinations," the voice in my head says. So there I go. 3, 5, 7, 9. Wrong. Okay, maybe 4, 6, 8, 9. Wrong. Then maybe it's 1, 2, 3, 5. Wrong again. What am I going to do to find out which code to use? Let's see, maybe if I listen to it very closely. I put my head next to the vault only to discover I have no ears. Oh yes, I forgot. Then I just decide to give up. I can't figure out the code anyway. I hit the small vault in frustration. Thud! Hey, wait a minute. It moved. If I can pull it out, I can take it home and take all the time in the world to break it open. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I pull with all my might and rip out the box. I put it under my arm and leave the house. Good, nobody sees me. I walk back through the streets and go to my house. It's still the way it was before. Apparently, nobody has even touched it or tried to sell it, and until they do, I am just going to live here. I open the front door and look inside. Everything is still in place. The only difference is that all items and surfaces have collected some dust. I sit down and try to break open the small vault, but then something hits me. I can't eat. I'm a skeleton. Why did I even do this? To get money? I don't need money because I don't need food. Ugh. Maybe I'll take it back sometime. Chapter 4. Destruction. I sit there, disappointed that I did something wrong when I didn't even need it. The voices, they aren't stopping. They are still telling me what to do. "Ah, go away!" I yell, feeling powerless to silence them. They won't go away. They are in my head. I scream out in mental pain, but I still hear them everywhere. "What do you want?" I yell. "It's not what we want. It's what you want," an eerie voice tells me, dominating the others. I stop yelling and I sit still, listening intently. Perhaps this time the voice is right, so I better hear it out. "Do you know the wall around the village? Everybody hates that wall. It just blocks out the sunlight and the easy ways to get in and out of town. How about you take that vault you have, the heavy steel vault, and throw it against the weak spots in the wall to crack it? Then it will be safer and simpler to leave town." "That sounds like a reasonable suggestion," I say out loud. "Well, what are you waiting for? Take the vault and let's go," the voice says. Okay, I'll go. That night, I go to the walls around the village, which are supposed to protect them from hostile intruders. I take the vault box and tell myself, okay, here I go. Bam! I throw the vault against the wall. It cracks a little, but it isn't effective enough. I complain a little in myself because it didn't work. It's frustrating. I can't get it to break. I try again. Nothing. Then I sit down and ponder what needs to be done. How am I going to break this wall? I have to admit that thinking without a brain is a lot harder. It takes me a long time to come up with another idea again. Suddenly, I hear the same voice in my head again. "The coal miners," the voice says. "Coal miners? What about them?" "They have dynamite, you idiot," the voice answers. "Now, hold on a minute. Let's not start calling each other names," I say. Again, I am glad nobody sees me here talking to myself, but it's in the middle of the night, so everyone in town is asleep. It seems like a good logical solution, though. Immediately, I betake myself to the mines, where it doesn't take me long to find some dynamite. I grab some sticks of dynamite and shove them between my ribs. Then I head back and light the sticks in front of the village wall. I run away and hide behind a building. I cover my ears and count down. 3, 2, 1, here we go. Boom! The wall blows up. The rocks and granite dust are all over the place. Smoke evaporates from the scene. I wave the smoke away a little bit and watch the results. Excellent. The wall is broken. The villagers will be pleased. Now they can leave town more easily and not just through one gate. Chapter 5. The Wicked Scheme. I watch from the shadows as the villagers come to look at the loud noise. The explosion certainly woke them up, and they are eager to find out what just happened. I see them gather around the broken wall, holding torches and looking in awe at the demolished structure, or what's left of it at least. "This is terrible," one of the female villagers says. "We cannot defend ourselves against enemies this way. How are we going to fix this?" "We will be killed by the creatures from the nether," a man shouts in panic. "Our children won't be safe," a woman says. I don't understand. I thought I was helping these people by blowing up their wall. The voice in my head said that they would appreciate it, but they don't. Did I just make life harder on them? Oh, why did I listen to that voice in the first place? I don't know what to do, so I return home and sit on a chair. I look at a glass of water, but realize that it would just go through me if I try to drink it. Being a skeleton is a special challenge, but being part of the undead also has some benefits. Like I said, I don't have to eat or drink to stay alive, and that night I cannot sleep at all. I don't have to sleep, so that's probably why. Then the voices come back. "Well done, Skeletor. Now you will be ready to join me and my army in the invasion against the village." "What?" I ask. "Who are you, anyway? You pop up in my head, and I never asked who I am talking to. Who is this, and how did you get inside of my head?" Let me introduce myself. My name is Kellen. I am the chief of the army of the undead. I am able to get inside your head because I am sending out a signal only skeletons can hear. You, my friend, have the privilege to prepare the way for my undead soldiers to take over. And by blowing up the wall and taking the mayor's money to invest in repairing it, you have taken away their final resistance. I will attack at dawn in 2 days. Be ready, and help me wipe out these disgusting villagers." I am dumbfounded. I didn't expect this. I thought the voices in my head were all there because of schizophrenia or something, but it seemed strange to me anyway, since I don't have a brain anymore. But now I realize it was just that skeleton leader all along. He plotted a scheme against the villagers, and now he just used me to meet his goals. I feel horrible. What have I done? Why did I listen to that evil skeleton? "Don't you worry, Skeletor," Kellen says. "Everything will be fine. We will kill the villagers and use whatever we find in there. We will chase them out of their homes and make them suffer. Ha 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 ha!" "Ah!" I scream. "Are you still there? Get out of my head!" "Ha ha ha! Fine, I will leave you alone. At my command, all the skeletons in this region will be prompted to take action and go to battle. You will see what happens whether you like it or not. Good night." I am angry. I am furious. This Kellen guy is going to pulverize this village and murder these good people, and I helped him do it. But this has to stop. I'm going to make him stop. I am going to stop this. Chapter 6. Protected Forever. The next day I figure out a trick. I don't want to be seen as a skeleton. Nobody should recognize me as that or they will freak out. I just know it. So I take some clothes and wrap them around my bony body, making sure that everything gets covered up. I even cover up my head completely, with a little room for the eye sockets. I kind of look like a ninja, but at least I won't look like a skeleton. I wait until the evening falls. It has to be dark, or this won't work. But this time I don't wait until the middle of the night. As soon as the sun sets, I take the tiny vault I stole from the mayor and drag it to his house. The weather is chilly. It's a nice night with a cool breeze. The lights of the mayor's house are dimmed. I am hardly visible. The clothes cover every inch of me, and my eyes, or lack of them, aren't clear underneath the hoodie. I knock on the door and wait. After a while, the mayor opens up. "And who might you be?" he asks, a little skeptical. My name doesn't matter right now, I said. I am here to deliver a message. I have learned that an entire army of skeletons is on their way to destroy this village. Gather all your men and stand ready to face them. How do I know I can trust you? And how do you know all this? You'll just have to believe me, I say. I have my resources. When will they come? The mayor asks. How long do I have? At dawn. They will come at dawn, and they will barge in through the wall somebody destroyed last night. You want me to gather all the available men by tomorrow? Are you insane? Don't ever tell me I am insane, I sneer. Everybody has psychological problems. Why should I be any different? Okay, I will see what I can do, the mayor assures me. Anything else? Yes, I say, as I reach into my bag and pull out the vault. I found this somewhere. I believe it belongs to you. It had a little note on it that said, I am sorry. Obviously, the one who took it shows remorse and regrets what he or she did. Please take it. Wow, thank you. You are right. I was looking for this. I am glad I got it back. You're welcome. Good luck, Mr. Mayor. You will need it. Goodbye for now. With those words, I turn around and vanish into the distance. I don't look back. It's up to him now. All I can do the next day is help. It will be a slaughter, but the question is, which side? I can only hope for the best. Chapter 7. The Fight. The stillness of the morning scene allows for a serene start of the new day. Birds call one to another. The night dew sticks to the leaves and trees and makes the plants glisten like crystals. Sweet vapors rise from the ground, and the sun hasn't shone its hot rays upon the destined villagers yet. It's still early, and the bunnies hop around on the soon-to-be battlefield as if it is yet another morning of peaceful nature. But they couldn't be more wrong about this day. The day of potential mayhem will result into the massacre of innocent villagers trying to defend their homes and families. I am already awake, seeing that I haven't slept at all. Why would I? I am a skeleton, and I need to be alert for what is about to happen. I stand in front of the village, covered up in rags and clothes. It's quiet. Nobody is there. Then suddenly, like a gush of wind, an entire army of men appears on the horizon. They have come together in desperation, hoping to survive the predicted skeleton attack. I wait for them and greet them. Who are you? They ask. And why are you hiding behind a mask? Someone asks. Never mind that. I am here to help you fight the battle. Is that okay? Sure, no problem. We need a lot of help, so yes, you're welcome here. Okay, so shall we forget the name and the mask and just kick these skeletons out of our hometown when they come? They don't have anything to say after that. They just continue lining up. It's an army, but an army of villagers who clearly lack some combat skills. I look at them and shake my head when I see only a handful of them carrying swords, and others pitchforks, pickaxes, and shovels. They look like a bunch of farmers who don't know what they're doing. It's not comforting, since the skeleton army will soon be coming at us with everything they've got. Personally, I still like the bow and arrows. We hear noises. Screeches from afar enter our audible senses. The piercing war cries of an undead army, ready to kill and destroy. We are standing on top of the hill and overlook another hill that appears a few miles away. Behind that hill, slowly but certainly, an army of skeletons emerges. Get ready, men, a big guy with a beard begins. We are here to defend our wives, our children, and our very survival. Do not get intimidated by their grave, ferocious appearance. They are dead, and they will die again. Now join me in the ranks against the forces of destruction, and set all your fears aside. This is the moment of courage. This is the moment we say no to evil. He raises his voice during the last few words, and all the men cheer. They hold up their weapons and yell as loudly as possible. But then they look at the other hill. The skeletons are overwhelming. Their numbers are impressive. When I do the math in my head, I see a legion, A vast militia counting thousands of skeletons with swords and shields. I look at the men on my side. They are scared. They didn't expect the army to be this big. "Do not fear," the leader yells. "They are but bones and skulls. We have the sacred blood of our forefathers. Get ready to defend yourselves and everything you love." The time for battle has come. The bloodshed can begin. The army of skeletons runs down the hill. I shoot an arrow, and another one, and another one. I kill a few, but they are approaching within seconds. It won't be long now until the one-on-one fights will begin. Swords are banging and clanging. Men and skeletons are screaming. I put effort into fighting some of my own, but I am looking for a permanent solution. Then I realize what has to be done. The leader, he is the source behind all of this. Where would he be? Oh, that was easy. I see a skeleton on a horse. It's the only skeleton who has a horse. He is wearing a red cape and a war helmet, shouting commands at the other skeletons and pointing his sword into our direction. "Kellen," I say in a low voice, "you're going down." But I still don't know how. I will have to break through hundreds of skeletons to reach him, and a duel might not even be the best way to end this. Perhaps I could shoot an arrow at him? No, pointless. If I miss, he will just know where to find me. I have to find something better, something that will not only remove him from the scene, but also give the villagers an advantage. I need something explosive. Yes, that's it. I am getting more of those sticks of dynamite from the mine. I don't wait. I hurry to the mine, leaving the fate of the civilians behind me. I run inside, check for the sticks, and find them at the exact place where I saw them last. I stuff them into my backpack and run back to the battlefield. "There," I say. I find a way to maneuver past a bunch of skeletons, and soon I find myself within 100 feet of Kellen. I hit a skeleton on the head, punch another in the ribs, and stand in front of the malicious monster. "You!" I say. He steps off his horse. "Ha ha ha!" he laughs. "Skeletor, is that you? Take off that ridiculous disguise. It doesn't matter anymore." "Why not?" I say. "I would rather look like one of them than like you or your dumb, brainless skeletons." "You're just like us," Kellen says. "Don't you realize you're mocking yourself?" "I don't care," I say. "This ends now. You wasted your right to live by planning an assault on innocent people." "Bring it on," he says, holding his sword ready. "I don't want to fight you. I just wanted to get close to you. Any last words?" "Huh? What are you talking about?" he asks. "Funny. I would have said something else," I say. "Oh well, I guess your ending isn't going to be very poetic then." I take out a stick of dynamite and attach it to an arrow. I aim, shoot, and hit the arrow in his skull. "No!" Kellen yells. But it is too late. The explosion of the one stick triggers the other ones to explode as well in my backpack, and the complete battlefield becomes a vast, massive ocean of fire, swiping through most of the skeleton army. Chapter 8. Even More Dead. Needless to say that I die here as well. My spirit floats up as it looks down upon my body. I, my spirit, glance around and watch with satisfaction. I just blew up about 90% of the thousands of skeletons in the direct vicinity. They are piled up on and scattered across the battlefield. In the distance, I see some villagers kill the remainder of the evil army. I look at my own body. It has broken into 1,000 pieces, intermingled with the dead body of the offender, Kellen. He didn't even stand a chance. I sacrificed myself, but I don't care. I just wanted to help these townspeople live a good life. My life is over anyway. I hear a voice in my head. It's not Kellen's voice. It's a soft, calming voice, like a colorful, forgiving wind that reaches the depth of my very being. It's strong and dominant, but not forceful. It soothes my thoughts and tranquilizes my mind. I float and feel greater than ever. "Well done," the voice says. I have no idea who says it. I have no idea who is speaking to me. But one thing I do know, my work here is done. This is why I stuck around, to rescue this town from the terrible fate that would have befallen them if I wouldn't have been there. Now that I look back, I am glad I heard those voices. I could only predict the skeleton army's attack by hearing the voice of that awful leader. It was necessary. My weakness had turned into a gift. But I was there. I blew up the wicked undead, and am now leaving this life with contentment. Life is over. I am happy. Whatever will happen now, I am ready. The end. This has been Dead Voices, Diary of a Confused Skeleton, Adventure Stories for Kids. Written by Jeff Child. Narrated by John H. Feskins. Copyright 2017 by Jeff Child. Production copyright 2017 by Jeff Child.